Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. Thanks for your patience. Welcome back from lunch, and those of you who made it from golf, and hope you brought a jacket. It's like an ice box in here, but we'll start with some introductions. My name is Paul Stuart. I'm the founder of Go Carrera. This is my partner Daniel.
What's up, guys?
And this is Go Carrera. So we're going to jump right into some information about what Go Carrera is and how it can benefit the installation companies and the floor covering companies across the nation. So Go Carrera is a digital ecosystem that empowers the installation professional. So what does that mean? It means technology that's built to support your business activities, keeping you focused on what's really important, making money and honing your craft. How does that all work? We're going to talk about 3 big ideas that make up the Go Carrera ecosystem. First off, the hammer rating. Hammer rating is a patent-pending algorithm that leverages all the trainings, education, work experience, and history to produce what is called a skill score, and we call that our hammer rating. In short, it's an expression of your dedication to the flooring craft, unlocking opportunities for great work and higher pay. Killer digital tools. We have a suite of software tools that make getting work, tracking your work, getting paid for your work easy. Like, you guys got to work hard on the floor every day, or installers do. I know we probably have some mixed bunch in here, but the installers work very hard, and we're taking away those ancillary items and getting work that they are matched for and matches their skill set. Daniel will talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The ecosystem. So Go Carrera is more than just an app. It's a true win-win for the entire industry. We call it an ecosystem of greatness. So to kick things off, let's dive into what the hammer rating is and how you can get one. So most of the tools that we'll talk about as we go through this presentation is centered on the hammer rating. So what is it? And how do you get one? Well, it's a numerical value between 0 and 5 that considers many factors. As stated before, it takes into consideration training, certifications, workshops, work completed, years of experience, all this data about an installer, and our algorithm comprises this data and produces the skill score or hammer rating. So now that you have a better idea of kind of what the hammer rating is, I'm going to give you some examples of how it's used within the software. So in this simple illustration, a work order is created by one of our licensed dealers, and in this case, they're filtering that work order to 1.5 hammers. As a result, after our system matches installers with the work order, the dealer will only see the installers that meet that hammer rating threshold. This means they're getting a true apples-to-apples comparison to make a good decision on who's installing their product and their project. After we've matched installers to the work order, the dealer only sees 1.5 hammers or above returned to them. You can click that review installer and get a more in-depth review of the installer's profile, including their hammer rating. Kudos is when you complete a work order and the dealer that you did that for, or the commercial contractor you did that work for, was blown away, so to speak, and gives you kudos for that work. Completed work orders gives you the work order to kudos ratio. And this gentleman here has 90 work orders completed with 76 kudos. So it also shows you all the skill badges, which are specific skills that are flooring related, obviously. So, as well as compliance documentation like insurance documents, W-9s, that kind of thing. So, as a side note here, it's important that each installer on the app creates a a good bio, because as flooring companies are reviewing those installers, that bio matters. So if you need help with that, reach out to Go Carrera, support at GoCarrera.com. We can help craft your bio, helping you to be a more marketable installer. So it also reflects, your skill and dedication. So the fact is, without this type of approach, it's not fair to the trained and dedicated installer, and it's commoditized our trade labor, keeping wages down. With Go Carrera, you can stop competing with Chuck in the truck. This photo kills me, but you might compete with Dwayne Pruitt in a dually, but Chuck in the truck's out of here. So, and by the way, if your name's Chuck and you got a truck, I'm really sorry about that, but you get the idea. So
I'm still trying to figure out what he's doing up there. Anybody's got any ideas?
You get a negative hammer rating for that sort of thing?
yeah, you should.
This
He
guy
should be
needs
negative. It looks like he's spreading base glue over quarry tiles. So. The hammer rating system reinforces quality training, helping to build lasting value for the trainings that you do go to. So because each training increases your hammer rating proportionately, and then you're matched with work orders that require that hammer rating, it gives you the lasting value. It's kind of like if you're Forbo certified, that's great if you're installing Forbo. Well, we know that if you're a Forbo Master certified sheet vinyl installer, for example, a resilient installer, that by going to that course alone, you are a better installer. So dealers can now have the confidence in the skill level and the ability of the installer they're working with, particularly if they don't know. In my flooring company, I know as we hire new project managers, those guys do not know we have 70 some subcontractors that we utilize, and they don't know all of their skill sets, and Go Carrera has helped us to go across that bridge very easily. So. And speaking of training, Go Carrera is training agnostic. What that means is we don't really consider whether a training is called a certification or a workshop or whatever. All we care about is the merits of that training and how well it applies to an installer becoming a better installer. So what we do know, though, is that an afternoon workshop or product demo with a free lunch is not equivalent to a week-long hands-on training, nor is an online training as valuable as a training that happens in person with a professional curriculum and adequate testing, like CFI. The fact is that not all trainings are created equal and should not be treated as such. Our software is smart enough to navigate the nuances and differences between all the trainings that are out there. And they're accurately weighed and then inserted into our algorithm as installers claim those trainings. All the while incorporating all the other stuff we just talked about, which is, the body of work of an installer. Go Carrera only considers how much each training actually improves the installer's hand skills, job performance, and marketability. We're here to offer the industry's only trusted third-party training verification evaluation process built around all the other tools of work orders, job scheduling, hammer ratings, the entire platform, all with the standardized in-depth review of each and every training that's able to be claimed on the profile. Up here you can see CFI R1 and R2 have been verified, and then PJ's training has not. So this is an example of how we actually will call or we share the data with the training entities to verify that if an installer claims a training, that he actually received and completed that training.
And to be clear, this is someone claiming that particular training is not been verified yet. Not that PJ's training is awesome. So
yeah,
just to be clear.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so we've been testing the algorithm since early 2019 on real installers. It's been proven to be a very accurate depiction of what an installer can do. Now, the kudos system, which is the reward for doing high quality work, is more of the application of that knowledge. But our hammer rating is a very good depiction of an installer's capabilities. The Go Carrera Hammer System offers the industry a systematic approach to increasing wages, which thus attracts the new generation of installers to our trade. It's important. I don't know anybody in here that does not recognize the installer shortage. Higher hammer rating equals higher pay. That works because the work orders are produced with a hammer rating on them. So only that hammer rating and above, as stated earlier, will receive that work order. So I'm going to hand it over to Daniel here.
Hey guys. So the truth is, it takes quite a few moving parts to kind of get this hammer rating system working the way we've described here. And as discussed, work orders are really centered, kind of central to the Go Carrera system. So because of this, it's necessary for us to develop kind of an entire platform of tools to provide that lasting value for the hammer rating. So we're really excited about what we've developed, and we're going to show you some things here in just a second. But we've developed easy-to-use technology that allows an installer to leverage their time and talent in a more productive and effective way, and really to allow you guys to kind of place your focus where it counts. So we're going to talk about the killer digital tools and call it kind of the paper trail without the paper. So we're excited to review this stuff with you today. Our team's been working really hard. Talking to Nate just a minute ago, we've been to shows for the last couple of years, really gathering feedback from all of you guys, and really informing the tools that we've developed. I mean, we really developed these for you guys. Super slick, and so I want to kick things off. So, as I mentioned, nearly everything in Go Carrera revolves around a work order. So here, this view of the work order, really seeing what a dealer would see. We can see there's quick visibility into all the important aspects of the work order items, project details, the schedule, important documents, and of course the pay, visible for both installer and the companies. We talked a little bit about us matching an installer to a work order. So once a dealer publishes that work order, our system goes to town and really finds that best match based on your guys' profiles. And we present your profile to the dealers for review. And so again, this hammer rating threshold comes into play that we talked about, and we're really seeing a good apples to apples comparison between these guys. So no more, again, competing with Chuck and a truck. So we've got, we can easily see the installer's hammer rating, the number of kudos that they've earned, number of completed work orders, skill badges that they've earned, a short bio, compliance documentation, and more. So this really sets you guys, the trained installers, apart from your competitors. From the installer side, which we're getting a glimpse of here, the installers app, you can review work order opportunities, and now you've got some decisions to make once you've got one of these coming in. You can simply decline this thing if you want, and it's gone. No harm, no foul. Not interested, that's cool. You can indicate your interest as is on the work order. Everything, you checked out each of the items, the demo, the installation, maybe any finishing requirements and that kind of thing, and you're good with it, and you're going to indicate your interest. Or you can actually negotiate any part of this work order, either the items or the schedule, to make it work for you. And that's kind of a back and forth with you and the company that we help facilitate through the app. So you guys really get to make the call. It's in your hands. And ultimately, just like in the real world, the flooring contractor, the dealer, gets to make the final decision to whom they award the work order to. But with your profile, and a strong profile, you can build a digital presence that really help you get the work that you want. So once the work order has been awarded to a single installer, we can see this here, it kind of transitions into a new state, and allows you guys to kind of collaborate with the dealer in new ways. We built a whole set of tools around in-progress work so that it can be kind of handled smoothly. So change orders, installer added change orders. So this is something if you've got to get a few bags of patch to fill in to go, you can add that to the work order. PM or company gets to approve that. Works in reverse, so a change order issued by the company, maybe they received something from their GC. When this comes down, it comes to you for review, and so you can approve that and and or make a call to the PM and question why that is. That can be in addition to the work order or a deduct from an existing item, and those can be for a number of reasons, as you know. So we also handle invoicing and payments, which I'll get to here in a little bit more detail here in just a second. Obviously shared calendars, so each of the work orders goes on a shared calendar that you guys, you get to really control your workload, but this is shared now with the company, and they don't get to see your other work, but the work that they've issued you, and really help maximize your workload there. I mentioned change orders a moment ago, so with Go Carrera, you guys can now easily participate in construction level accounting in a nice, easy way, letting the platform really do the nitty gritty of keeping track of the system of record of all of these things, so approvals and declines for change orders across the board, happening from installer to company or vice versa. Changes in schedules, change orders, invoices, and payments. So flooring, like most construction trades, really dynamic and really demands a dynamic system to keep up with all of that and keep track of the moving parts. So document storage, obvious solution that we have with each work order. Things like drawings, takeoffs, installation instructions, specifications, everything right under your thumb on the phone with the work order there. So that losing track of emails and texts and that kind of thing. So invoices, lien releases, and payments. So there's quite a bit going on in here, but the reality is like integrated invoices, lien releases, and payments with every work order. This is progress invoicing, by the way. So if you've got a large project, you can invoice incrementally based on the work you complete. So really all this is designed to help cut down on paperwork and chasing checks and that kind of thing, and you can spend more time installing. That leads to more money in your guys' pockets. We also have tools to manage your crew. So as an installer, you receive a work order from a dealer. You can actually share this with your crew. One cool feature is some guys have members of their crew that are actually better than them in certain ways, right? Or maybe more specialized in ceramic tile than they are themselves or something. And so having great team members really helps match you with more work, so you can leverage your entire team's capability. Share project details with the crew to keep them informed on all the specifications and instructions and schedules and that kind of thing that we talked about. Quick side note, your crew is your crew, and we understand that. They are not available on what we call our entire network for being able to be hired by other companies like you guys might be. So they will only see the work orders that you've shared with them. So we want to be very clear about that. We value that relationship. While we're on the topic of features, work order chat, one of the things that we're in active development on right now, super excited about. We think it's going to be a game changer for how you guys work with your dealers. All conversations around a particular work order can be encapsulated within that single work order. So this means no more searching through text messages or emails to find that one piece of important communication that we can't put our hands on now. Everything's nice and contained within each work order. We're even playing with the idea of having that be pre-award as well, so you guys can kind of set the tone for the communication prior to the project. So you'll be able to do that prior to when you're kind of in the pool of matched installers, be able to set yourself apart that way as well, even amongst apples to apples. And then obviously afterwards, so as you're sharing drawings or you got a problem on a job site, you can mark up a section and send that photo and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a game changer. We're super excited about that. So, well, hey, a lot of information in one one little bit here in our brief time together. We just kind of scratched the surface of the power of some of the tools that we provide. So, but as we mentioned before, Go Carrera is much more than just a piece of software. And so I wanted to explore that a little bit. I'm going to turn it back over to Paul.
Daniel, appreciate it. So the ecosystem. I'd like to hone in on what Go Carrera is from a higher level, because as stated multiple times here, it's more than just a piece of software or an app. It's an ecosystem. So by definition, an ecosystem is a situation where all parties involved can thrive together. So manufacturers, installers, the industry, training entities, all of the above can benefit. Installers benefit from higher pay, a more professional appearance, more transparency into their skill, and greater project opportunities that match their skill set. Dealers experience happier customers, lower failure rates, by having the right installer on the right project. Industry benefits, and I'm talking industry from the organizations like the WFCA, NTCA, all of these, because of it reduces the negative reputation that's brought about by poor installation or flooring failures. Now, I started as an installer, and we all know manufacturers have their own hand in that pot for flooring failures, but if we can get rid of one piece of it, then we kind of isolate ourselves from all that as installers. So manufacturers, obviously, they're going to save money when flooring is properly installed. It's really a win-win-win. Well, I guess win. So, quick recap here. Let's recap kind of what we talked about. When we talk about a piece of software like Go Carrera that is truly unique and new, there's a lot of information to try to shove into one presentation, and so we have to hit things at a really high level. So, as a recap, Go Carrera is an ecosystem that empowers the professional installer, separates them from the installer that, to be honest with you, will probably never even go start a profile. We offer sophisticated digital tools to simplify getting new work, keeping track of your existing work and your projects, and getting paid. Also, on the company side, they get lean releases on every project, and I know that a lot of residential dealers don't do that, but it's really a good practice. So this allows you guys, the installer, to stay focused on completing projects, getting better, attending more trainings, increasing your hammer rating, and making more money. And most importantly, our hammer rating system is the clear path to more opportunity and greater pay. So opportunities for new work, for discounts. We have deals with Dow Tile and the NTCA that provide discounts to any network installer that's on the Go Carrera network. We are feeding trainings through it as we onload trainings. If there's training in an area, that'll be passed on to the installers in that area, thus giving them the opportunity to attend that training. There's even ways that we can't get into right now, but there's even ways to advance your career once you've decided to hang up the knee pads. So what should you do about this? Well, if you're an installer, it's pretty easy. Go get your profile started, gocarrera.com/sign up, or just go to the gocarrera.com and you'll find the buttons. So get your profile started. There's zero cost to view work order opportunities. Again, these are work orders, not leads, right? Like some platforms out there. These are work orders. So you probably are wondering how much all of this costs, though. We decided from the very beginning that we only get paid when the installers pay. So we align ourselves that once the installer's paid, there's a 3% fee, which covers the network cost as well as the payment cost. So $90 on a $3,000 work order. This aligns Go Carrera's goals with the goals of the installer. There's zero risk to get your profile started. I mean, frankly, the worst thing that could happen is you get matched for a work order, you decide to do the job, you knock it out of the park, and you get paid. That's the worst thing. So, Go Carrera is another. Also, each time you complete a work order, it's kind of a feather in your cap because we track on your profile each completed work order. So that helps build your digital reputation as you complete work orders in the system. Again, there's no cost for the profile. In fact, just for having it and getting your installer card, which is right here, you qualify for multiple discounts. Each time you get a new hammer, we'll send you a holographic sticker that fits in the die cut at the back of the card, showing your hammer rating for each discipline. Come by our booth tomorrow. We'll be at the trade show. Come by our booth, and happy to have more in-depth discussions with anybody and talk about how Go Carrera can help either your installation business or your flooring company. At this time, open it up for some questions. Okay, don't act all shy. This is important. Yes, sir.
Do the installers get a chance to rate the contractors or dealers?
We talked about having a back and forth, and the answer appears to be a yes in the future development. We will be having them rate on, so installers get rated on multiple things. When they get kudos, you can say why you gave them kudos. For example, professionalism, quality, all these types of things. We're going to reverse that back to the company. On-time payments, job site setup, and there's like 3 or 4 factors in the company rating. So great question. Yes, that's in a future development.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like I say, it went a little fast, so if you touched on this and I missed it, I apologize. Tracking taxes for an installer, does it do that? Did you touch on that? Does it do that?
You know, we didn't. We hadn't. We should have. There is awesome reporting that's available to both companies and installers. So at the end of the year, yes, it tracks all of what you've been paid. Now, not necessarily is it going to calculate your taxes, but it will certainly tell you what you've paid, any fees you've paid, and the earnings from the Go Carrera platform.
But future generations could possibly do that, simply gather, you know, what level you want to put in and calculate your spend on each job and give you a pretty close estimate, I would imagine, so.
Yeah, in the future, a lot of these, we'll actually log that down.
Yeah.
In the future, as we continue to build upon the software, some of those things
Yeah,
are.
please do consider that, because a lot of young people get in this business and don't understand the tax implications, the workman comps, you know, that they have to pay,
Yeah,
that sort of
absolutely.
thing. So that would be huge in a product, like great product, by the way.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
and if
Yeah.
all income's coming through Go
Yeah.
Carrera, there's a level of, like, we would know the tax bracket, so like you said, we can totally like.
So I have another perspective on this for you, second question. This is somewhat like an ADP or a Paychex for installers that a company could utilize to make their installer payroll. I think that's what I heard, and I think you said that this could be closed information to that company that maybe decided to subscribe to make installer payroll. Is that what I heard?
Yes, independent installer payroll.
Subcontractors, like
Yeah,
if they had,
subcontractors.
let's say they had 10 contractors or whatever, that they wanted to use this system to pay their contractors, I guess it could be do that, and that information would remain closed so that it's not putting out their
Absolutely.
relationship.
Yeah,
So
none of that
if they
information.
wanted, if that installer chose, so be it. But, so that makes it somewhat like an ADP or a Paychex for paying your group of contractors.
Yeah, except we get a whole suite of tools that surround it with all.
No,
of
it's a
that
beautiful
additional
thing,
info,
yeah, and it manages change orders, it becomes somewhat of a CRM.
Yeah.
So that was my question, you know, are you guys willing to negotiate that fee for like a large block of installers, or, you know, for bigger companies that might think about that?
Well, the cost of moving money costs money, you know, so
Yeah.
there are some very hard fixed costs, but we look at this in a few ways. Number one, the discounts that we bring is only going to increase, and thus offsetting that. With our 75 subcontractors at my flooring company, one of the biggest things that has really impacted them is they don't have to come to my office, pick up a check, and sign a lien release to pick up their payment. I said that the Go Carrera software saves them at least a couple hours a day that they could be on the job site installing to come to my office, sign lien release, and pick up a check. That all happens digitally, and if we do work nationwide, so let's say the guy's 4 hours away, he doesn't have to leave the project to come to my office, pick up a check, sign a lien release. Even if he's 4 hours away, it's all digital. So there's a lot of things that offset that cost. Scott? Yeah, we have some integrations. They're all going to be somewhat custom depending on, we're working with like Structure is a big floor covering contractors accounting system. We have a client up in Washington that really leverages Microsoft Dynamics, QuickBooks, all these things. So yes, integrations are very possible, and it just takes a little bit of development to make it happen. Nothing major. As we get those requests, we process them.
I'd love to chat with you further if you want to come talk to me. I'd like to hear how you're using it, just to craft that a little bit. So yeah, that'd be great. Yes, sir.
Where do the work orders come from?
They're originated from the dealers that license our product. So a flooring contractor, which is my company, I'm a commercial contractor. I actually license it for myself, and our clients in other parts of the country, they license the product, they create the work orders, and then shoot them out to either their network or the entire network. So that's where it's actually created. What we did was allow the installer, though, to participate in his pricing. You know, I'm sure everybody has had like dictated pricing if you work through a store. And I'm not saying, as a flooring contractor myself, that there's unlimited budgets. And we're not talking about tomorrow prices are going to go from here to here. But what happens is, just with generalized approach to all this, wages are going to increase as the hammer ratings increase. So that's kind of our take on that. Was that?
Any other question?
No.
Yes, Kim.
What's the SIM code for this session?
The SIM code for this session?
The SIM code for this session. Is it clear?
I don't.
No idea.
Go Carrera if you're a SIM rated on your card for this session. Go Carrera.
Got it.
Go Carrera. Get you the points for your CIM. Thank you, Cam. Any other questions?
How did you come up with the name?
That's a common question, actually. It means go career, and carrera in Spanish is career, so it's just about building your career.
Go fast.
What's that?
Go fast.
Go fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how. Daniel actually came up with that.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's a level of Carrera feeling high end in more than one way, and so, you know, we knew we're building a network of the biggest and baddest installers in the country, and so I thought Carrera was very fitting for that as well, and obviously the meaning is underlying there too. So, yeah. Any other questions before we wrap up? I know we're running a little late on time, so I don't want to keep you much longer, but
Okay.
I hear a question? Is there one? No. Okay.
Okay.
So, wanted to cover like what did we learn today? So we've got, to sum up, a state-of-the-art software platform that costs nothing for you to sign up. Nothing to view work order opportunities, and leaves the decision to take on new work really up to you, in the palm of your hand. So if you do decide to do the work, we offer a bunch of tools to get that work done, as well as a bunch of reporting to make your accountant super happy and tax guy at the end of the year super happy. So hammer rating, really the key to truly leveraging your guys' dedication to the craft. And just want to say we're excited to be building this community together with you all. You know, we've been coming to these shows for the last couple of years as we've been building this out, using your guys' input to craft and hone the solution that's in place for you guys. And so really honored to be able to speak with you today, and want to thank you all and appreciate it, guys. We'll see you around the hotel and at the show tomorrow. So
Yeah,
thanks.
come see us at our booth tomorrow. Thank you, guys.